The rat race isn't a job. It's a mindset you inherited without ever realizing it. Because from your very first day of kindergarten to the moment you graduated high school, you were shaped slowly, quietly, and consistently into a particular kind of person. Someone who can follow instructions, someone who can meet deadlines, someone who can memorize information, but rarely question it, someone who can work hard, but never think too deeply about why they're working. You learned equations, you learned essays, you memorized historical dates, scientific formulas, and the life cycle of a frog. But schools left out one lesson, the one that determines whether you thrive or struggle. Not how to earn it, not how to grow it, not how to manage it, not how to escape the traps built around it. And the consequences of that missing lesson, they're everywhere. In 2003, heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, a man who earned over $300 million United States dollars in a single lifetime, filed for bankruptcy. $30 million gone. Not because he didn't make enough, but because he was never taught how money actually works. Tyson's story is dramatic but not unique. Most people are living out the same tragedy on a smaller scale. Americans now hold the highest credit card debt in history. Millions live paycheck to paycheck. Most people have less than $1,000 saved for emergencies. We never learned anything. Not in school. Not from society. Not even from our own painful experiences. Debt has become an invisible leash, soft enough to ignore, strong enough to control. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, what does money mean to you? Does it disappear the moment it arrives? Has it ever backed you into a corner? So much so that a get-rich-quick scheme or a guru-esque miracle program suddenly seemed like hope instead of manipulation. Because here's the truth. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a perception problem. Think about it. You were taught algebra, but not taxes. You memorized Shakespeare, but not compound interest. You analyzed the symbolism in The Great Gatsby, but no one explained how a mortgage works. You graduated knowing how to write a 5-paragraph essay, but completely unprepared for a 5-figure credit card bill. And yet society expects you to magically figure it out, to build wealth without ever being shown how wealth works. This disconnect isn't an accident. It's a design flaw built into the system itself. So let's begin with a simple question. What is money? Not what you think it is. Not what you were told it is, but what it actually represents. Because understanding this is the first step toward escaping the rat race for good. Most people will tell you money is a medium of exchange, a way to buy goods and services, a tool. But those definitions barely scratch the surface. The truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Money is an expression of value. You trade money for something because, in that moment, you believe the value you receive matches what you give. This idea changes everything, because once you understand that money equals value, you stop seeing wealth as luck, or greed, or corruption. You start asking real questions. What value did this person create? What problem did they solve? What need did they meet? Money itself isn't good or evil. It doesn't corrupt. It reveals, amplifies. It expands your options and exposes your priorities. But here's the catch. If money is just value, why are so many people still drowning? Because understanding money isn't the same as managing it. And most people were never taught the skill that matters most. Your relationship with money. Money enters your life. That's production. Money leaves your life. That's consumption. You produce value. Then you consume value. Your net worth is simply the difference between these two forces. But for most people, consumption has completely overtaken production. Millions spend more than they earn, not because they're irresponsible, but because society engineered them that way. Endless advertising, social media comparison, lifestyle pressure. Buy now and pay later culture normalized debt, influencer-driven consumerism. You were conditioned to want more, buy more, signal more, even if you had less. And that's how the rat race traps you. Not through your job, not through your income, but through your habits. A high salary doesn't save you if your spending rises just as fast. As countless bankrupt celebrities proved, you can't outturn poor financial habits. So ask yourself, every dollar you've ever earned, where is it now? What did it become? A memory, a moment, a lifestyle you couldn't sustain? Or did it become assets, security, freedom? This is the moment most people avoid. Behavioral finance calls it the ostrich effect, burying your head in the sand because the truth feels too heavy to face. But awareness is the first step toward escape. Track your spending, categorize it, observe it without judgment, because the numbers won't lie to you, even if you lie to yourself. Once awareness comes clarity, and clarity reveals the escape route. 1. Live below your means, the stability phase, not forever, just until you can breathe again. Create a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. This becomes your buffer against chaos, your first step outside the rat race. 2. Fix consumption, the foundation phase, reduce impulsive spending. Detach from social comparison. Understand your triggers. Build systems, not willpower. 3. Increase production, the growth phase. This is where wealth is built. Not by clipping coupons, not by being frugal forever, but by increasing your ability to produce value at scale. That could be a skill, a service, a digital product, a YouTube channel, a business idea, a software tool, an online brand. You don't need to create the next Apple. You just need to create value, because money flows to value always. The rat race was never about working 9 to 5. It was about living so close to financial collapse that your job feels like survival instead of choice. And escaping it was never about luck, talent, or intelligence. It was about awareness, and then action. Once you understand the system, you stop playing blindly. Once you understand value, you start creating it intentionally. Once you understand yourself, you become impossible to trap. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share it. So here's the truth. School didn't prepare you for wealth. Society didn't prepare you for security. No one prepared you for freedom. But you're here now learning the lesson you should have learned years ago. The rat race wasn't built for you to escape, but you're going to escape it anyway. Not by accident, not by chance, but by understanding who you are as a consumer, as a producer, and as the author of your own financial story. Your next chapter begins now.